Hello, everyone. You're welcome. Thank you for joining us today. I hope we've all had an amazing week. Today promises to be an amazing time. We have a very informed individual that will be joining us today. I'm particularly excited for today's webinar and, of course, today's topic because I myself, I think that I'm going to have a lot to learn from today's webinar. You know, I'm excited because I sense that it would be eye-opening, and we're going to learn a lot from what our guest has to teach us today. So welcome, everybody. I can see most of us here from Clan. I just want us to wait a few more minutes to allow others join us before I introduce our guest today. So please give us a few more minutes. I'll say 5 more minutes to allow others join us before we start proper. However, I'd like to welcome each and every one of us here. I hope that we've had an interesting or eventful week. I hope it has not been too stressful. And I hope that everyone can hear me loud and clear. But someone said I can't hear anything. I don't know. Can everyone hear me? Okay. So I guess it was just her in the beginning because I wasn't talking. I was just waiting for the exact time to start. So thank you. Welcome, everyone. Our topic is career opportunities in the Nigerian renewable energy sector. And I know that, some of us here, I don't know if anyone is interested in sustainability or renewable energy here and doesn't know like how to. Is there anyone here that's interested in? First of all, my question is there anyone that is here that is interested in sustainability or a career in that sector? You can respond in the chat box if you can hear me. Is there anybody here that's is interested in sustainability sector or renewable energy? Can everyone hear me? Oh, fantastic. I'm glad. Thank you for the response. I am interested in sustainability, but it's such a broad topic and it's such a broad sector. And there's so much that, for people that want to build a career in sustainable development, there's so much to it. And sometimes, we're not just aware. Like for me, I was at some point I was really interested in corporate sustainability, but I wasn't sure how to navigate that sector. I also know that there's something called sustainable reporting. Does anybody know about sustainable reporting? Because I heard that sustainable reporting is hot cake right now. Like people are getting jobs in sustainable reporting. there anyone that knows about sustainable reporting? Yes, no? Anyone? No one? No one knows about sustainable reporting. Have you sustainability reporting? Something like that. Really? Oh, okay. There's something like that actually, and there's a certain course that somebody was advising me to take, but it was quite expensive at the time. And for those of us that might plan to, leave the country. Okay, so Olanka sent us something in the chat box, which seems enlightening. It says sustainability reporting. Okay, so sustainability reporting is a form of non-financial reporting that enables companies to convey their progress towards goals on a variety of sustainability parameters, including environmental, social, and governance metrics, as well as risk and impacts they may face at the moment or in the future. Olanka, do you know anything about it? Can you just brief us, if you know, apart from like the definition? Because I heard that it's, we're here to talk about career opportunities today. So we might as well rub minds before we call on our guest speaker. Because people are really getting jobs, especially I think outside the country, people are getting like roles in sustainability reporting, as Olanka puts it. I think that's the correct way to put it. All over the world, a lot of sectors are employing people in this area, sustainability reporting. Even as a friend of mine that works in KPMG was saying to me that you should really do a course on sustainability reporting, because auditing firms, environmental firms, name it, they all have a department for like sustainability reporting. Olenka, so please, apart from this definition, do you know anything else about it? You can unmute if you have anything to say.
Hello. Okay.
Hi. Hi, Sadiq.
Yeah. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I think my own volume is just low. But yeah, I can hear you, but not loud, Sha. You're not loud enough.
I know about it. That, like you said earlier, but
Is it just me that can't hear Olenka properly?
can anyone hear me? Yeah, I can hear you clearly. I don't know if you can hear me. I can hear you very clearly.
Okay. Nessa also says she cannot hear you clearly.
Hello. Can anyone hear me?
Hi. Now we can hear you better.
I said that I don't know too much about it, but the little I know is that, like you said earlier, it is broad.
Mm-hmm.
Broad, very, very broad, important, and then it is now wide scale, in the sense that focus actually on three main pillars, or should I say three key pillars. I mean, it can report on three basic aspects, which is environmental, social responsibility.
Your voice is going out of range.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
What is
Much better.
happening now? I'm not changing anything. No. It's just like maybe he wants me to shout. My voice is
No,
low.
no. Okay.
Yeah,
You
so
can
I
go
was
on.
saying that it's focused on three main aspects. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's focused on three main aspects, which is economic. Um, sorry, so it focuses on economics, in economy, as we can call
Okay.
it, and then social. responsibility itself and then environment. So you are reporting on three main aspects. You are reporting on social responsibility, then you are reporting on the economy, and then you are reporting on what did I call the last one again? Because I'm actually I know I read it from somewhere, so I'm not trying to see if I can get.
You said environmental as well.
Yes, environmental, yes. So, but like you said, like still broad. There are not been too many materials on it, and people are not dropped it yet. So maybe that person that your friend on PMG, but if he still has enough about it, because when I saw it, it was just briefly, so there is not too much information about it yet.
Okay. I'll try to find more information on it because I wanted to do a course in corporate sustainability in LBS at the time. So I was discussing with a friend and he had suggested that to do another course somewhere else with on sustainability reporting, and I was talking about how what's it called? What's the word now? How it's a better choice for me than to do the LBS course, which was expensive as well, but the sustainability reporting course was way more expensive than that. And I did not have an idea what it was about. I tried to read the link that he has sent to me, but I didn't get it. So, however, after that, sometimes when you just find out about something that you don't know about, after that time, I just started to see it everywhere. And, people just mention it to me like, oh, you're into environmental sustainability. Why don't you do this? I saw, a job post, if you can see.
The definition now on greenly.net. They define
Okay.
sustainability reporting as, they say simply, sustainability reporting is the disclosure of environmental, social, and governance (ESG) goals. It's just simple, like it's a reporting or is a disclosure of environmental, social, and governance goals. So it's just like you reporting environmental, social, and governance goals. That's all.
So is it like environmental impact assessment kind of report?
Kind of.
Okay.
So they say that the idea is to allow according to them here, it's environmental, social, and governance criteria, set of standards that investor use to screen potential investment. The idea is to allow them to differentiate assets in order to invest their money in those which turn out social and environmentally conscious. What I can tell you are now like a reporter, but on ESG goals only. So the idea is that you put report out there on ESG so that whoever is interested in ESG can see your report and then can now look at, okay, let's focus on this aspect. Let's focus on this based on how you are reporting. So it's just like maybe like this our this thing we want to do now.
Plastic getaway.
Yes, plastic getaway. So you cannot just give a report on plastics generally.
Okay.
So investors now can now see plastic, like they see your report on plastic, contain how plastics are harmful, what are the current impact of the society at the moment, and then what ways can be done to improve reduction of plastic waste and all of that. So investors can now see those things, and then they can now approach maybe NGOs like us or others and say, okay, based on social reports on plastic that we have seen, we want to see how we can also let a lot of plastic get out from the waste. I mean, a lot of plastic on the waste, we want to put them out. So we want to promote the plastic culture by getting enough of plastic out of the waste and out of the environment to be able to have cleaner and healthier environment. So we now promote this kind of initiative whereby you now people to bring the plastic from their own, the plastic that they have, to get prizes. They invest in initiatives like this based on your own report or whoever that is producing those ESG, when they see, okay, the kind of maybe infographic or kind of maybe study or research that the person has conducted on that
Oh,
particular
okay.
thing. So I think that's what I see about the chat. But I'll put the link on the so you can see.
Great. Thank you so much, Olayinka Sadiq. I'm glad we had that conversation. So very quickly, thank you. Very quickly, I would like to introduce our guest speaker for today. His name is Ayobami Adedinni. He's a communication specialist and the founder of Energy, Media, and Research Consultancy, the Energy Intelligence. His work highlights African brands as they seek to own their sustainable storytelling and share that story in a way that resonates with consumers, regulators, and investors. Ayobami, thank you so much for joining us today. The floor is yours.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
We can hear you. Okay, so I'm going to be sharing my video right now. Just,
Everybody?
I'll share my video right now. Just hold on, please.
Okay. All right.
Thank you. Okay. Can you see me?
Yes, we can see you.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
I can't see you. Sorry. Okay, just you know. Yeah, I can see you. Good evening.
Hello.
You know.
Hi, good evening. We can see you. We can hear you too.
Yeah, so thank you for the invitation to be a part of this. I don't take this for granted. I did okay, right? Thanks for the opportunity. I know we're supposed to have had this before now, but things happen. And so far since I joined, I've really enjoyed the conversation so far. And yes, just to chip in before we go fully into the discussion, sustainability reporting is a hot cake right now.
Right.
Especially if you are not in Nigeria, you know. Yeah, especially, but for someone, let's say someone in the US or Europe, yeah, it's hot cake for you because there are needs for that. And then the difference is that sustainability reporting, we have financial reporting, like every quarter, financial institutions or companies, they release their results, quarterly results, right? So the same thing with sustainability reporting. So instead of talking about the financing aspect, they talk about their what's their impact on the environment. What are some of the things they've done to mitigate those impacts on the environment? So that's exactly how it is. So it's really a hot cake, really, and it's something I'm also interested in.
You really?
Of course.
Minds think alike.
Yeah, so thank you once again for the invitation. I really appreciate it, and I believe today is going to be an enticing conversation for every one of us involved. Thank you.
Okay, please, can everybody see Ayobami, or is it me you're seeing? Because Olayinka just posted a cute picture of me. I don't know if it's me you're seeing, It's me?
Yes. I just gave you an example to see that it's you I'm seeing another.
Every other person, please, because I pinned Ayobami and I'm seeing Ayobami.
No, I'm seeing you. I don't know about that.
I think it's you. Can another person corroborate? Thank you, Vanessa. Vanessa, is it me you're seeing or Ayobami on the big screen? Pinned?
I see you on the page. I should swipe the next page.
You are the one she's talking to, not me.
I can see Ayobami and I can see Adejoke.
What are you seeing on the main screen? On the main screen, like the main screen. I'm seeing your dot both. Ayobami is just ground up smiling.
Please look at you on the main screen. Me, I can see Ayobami on the main screen. I'm just on the top right, top left.
We can only see Miss Adejoke on the main screen.
Wait. Where's Ayobide? Did I pin myself? Let me remove pin. So what are you seeing now? Me or who?
I'm just seeing you, me, you.
It's you that we are seeing, though.
Vanessa, please help me out here.
Vanessa is using mobile. Maybe that is why she had to say to swipe. I'm using system.
Good evening. I'm using my mobile phone. If you're using your phone, just swipe. You see everybody.
No, but who can you see on the big screen? Me or Ayobami?
You are the one on the big screen, but if you want to see Ayobami, you have to swipe.
Are you talking to me?
Okay, now what about now?
No, we are only seeing you. We are only seeing you, but that doesn't change anything. I think Mr. Ayobami can continue with the program or is there anything?
No. I just want, I mean, he's the guest speaker, so I know my face is cute, but you know, it should be the one you should be seeing. Get what I mean? Anyway, but please tell us about yourself. Let's not get distracted.
Yes.
Yeah, it's good to also see your face too. So
We can see Mr. Ayobami's face now, loud and clear.
We can see Mr. Ayobami's face now.
You don't watch again.
So this would not let this go.
Okay, so thank you so much.
Yeah, I can get it now.
Thank you. You can now mute. Thank you.
Like when Joker is speaking out, it goes back to you. When Ayobami is speaking, it goes back to him.
Now, wow. Hey.
Continue. Let's continue. Time is going.
Ayobami, please, can you just introduce yourself in your own words, please? Tell us about yourself.
Okay. Thank you so much once again for this opportunity. I always appreciate every opportunity given for me to speak, to share my knowledge. And I believe that doing so, I'll also be able to gain knowledge. So I'm a communication specialist, and I've been in the renewable energy industry now since 2016. First as a journalist, as a content writer, and then currently as a communication specialist. So what I do is I help sustainable brands tell their stories in a way that everyone involved will be able to understand what these companies are doing and then their next step. Because we found out that a major problem in the renewable energy industry is the fact that brands don't tell their stories enough. Okay, so that's what we try to feed. And another aspect of what we do at Energy Intelligence, we also gather research for companies. We gather data for companies and then translate it to true information for those companies. So that has been me really. And one of the things that I do is I share content on social media on sustainability and renewable energy. I believe that in so doing, much more people will be interested in coming to the sector. Yeah, so that's me in short.
Okay.
Thank you.
For instance, let's take Clan, our organization, as a typical example, right? If we were to engage your services, what do you think you can do for us differently than maybe what we're doing now?
Do you want to give me a job?
No, I'm just asking, because I feel like, I mean, we also struggle with, putting ourselves out there and, just collating our thoughts and telling our stories like you just mentioned, the way that, we want people to see it. There's a gap. And sometimes because we're not like communication specialists, sometimes we might not be able to fill that gap, that communication gap. So maybe we'll talk about that later. So I'm just trying to understand, like, typically what your, mode of operation is.
Yeah, we can talk about that after the main discussion. I'll be able to do that.
So can you tell us like about your personal journey? How did you become involved in renewable energy? Because some of us, we just stumbled upon it while brainstorming about, for me, it was about what can I do different? How can I be impactful? How can I impact my society? And that's how I came about, environmental sustainability, things like that. So I would say that it just happened. But some people, they hear something, they meet a friend. So how would you describe your journey?
Yeah, thank you, Ajoke. I think my journey, I'll describe it as an accident, because, like I said, I started in 2016, and I started as a journalist working in a media organization. So one of the beats, so we call it beats, that was to cover was the oil and gas industry, right? Okay. The energy industry in general, right? So, but then in my journey, I found out that while the world was talking about energy transition, renewables and all, very few media organizations were talking about renewable energy in Nigeria. And I found out that some of these organizations, for Europeans, for Americans, for them to be talking about something, that means they've done that research. They feel that, okay, this is where the world is going. So I felt that, okay, I think this is what I want to do. And then in 2017, I met with a foreign diplomat, and then during the exchange of ideas, he gifted me a book. In particular, I met with the German consul, the former German consul in 2017, which gave me a book that was on Germany and renewable energy. So I felt that, wow, this is beautiful. Nigeria could also do something like this. So that book really is the foundation for energy intelligence. And then since then, I met another woman in the industry. And then from there, I just started, I felt like this is the way I want to play. So that just is in short.
Please give us cut soap also. Give us the name of the title of this book.
What did you say?
Can you share the title of the book?
Yeah. Oh, in fact, okay, the title is called Germany, Exploring Renewable Energy.
Okay. Guys, you have it there. Vanessa, please, can you just put that in the chat box so that we can have that information? Maybe we can also find inspiration, just so for me, I know that the sector is not like as lucrative as, I don't know, maybe the energy aspects. For researchers, it's taking more from them than what it's bringing out. So I feel like it's a sector that has to do with more of passion than I want to make money or I want to blow, so to speak, for the lack of the right choice of words. I want to blow. So what motivated you? Because I know it cannot be money apart from the book.
Yeah, so about a few months ago, I was just reminiscing on my career journey, and I found out that most of all the things I've done in my career has been trying to take a different path from what every other person is doing. Mm-hmm. So I would say just that desire to be different, I would say is what really prompted, like, okay, I want to be the first person to be reporting on renewable energy. I want to be the one to be doing this. That is it really. So I wouldn't say that maybe because when I started in 2016, there's the money in the industry. Of course, the narrative is changing. The narrative is much changing now, but then that wasn't the real motivation. But like I said, I just wanted to do something different. I just wanted to save myself apart from what every other person was doing.
Fantastic. That's amazing. And I love what you're doing. I love what you're doing because it's something that we've also thought about at Clan, where I was saying to my partner that I think that we should have like an environmental news section where we just report on like this part of Lagos is dirty, kind of like whistleblowing, to inform the government. Can you do something about it? Can we plant more trees here? But like in a more like, not like in a not like in a bad way, not to highlight what the government isn't doing, but kind of like to inform them on areas that, can be improved upon in terms of like the environment. So I don't know if that kind of relates to what you do, but, we've also thought about something like that. But like you said, we still don't know how to put our thoughts together and, do all these many things at the same time. So we didn't get the title of that book. If you would repeat it again.
Okay. Although I doubt if it's going to be in the market, I doubt it. Then the title is Germany. Yes. Exploring renewable energy. Germany, then colon, exploring renewable energy.
Okay. So I guess somebody must have heard it. Please, can you put it in the chat box, anyone? So yeah, my second question for you is, what are some key trends and advancements you've observed in renewable energy sector in recent years, in the world at large, and maybe in Nigeria,
Yeah, so I think if you're going to be talking about trends, I think the first trend you're going to be talking about in the renewable energy industry is going to be the growth of solar, right?
Yeah.
To the average man on the street, when you talk about renewable energy, the first thing that comes to their mind is solar. I think about 15, 20 years ago, while high school and university, we've heard that you can tap energy from the sun, but not like now. Now, almost everybody knows about solar. Of course, the gap is still there, right? So because of that, the growth of solar, and of course the wind industry also, but particularly for Nigeria, the solar industry. And then another key trend is the clean cooking industry. And I think clean cooking.
Okay.
Clean cooking. And I think this aspect is an often neglected aspect of the energy transition narrative, really, because the truth is, you and I, we can't do without eating in a week, right?
Of course.
But we can do without charging our phones. That's the truth, right? So the world now is now moving to a place where people want to cook no more with firewood, but with cleaner sources of fuel, like LPG, like solar. I have a friend who is based in India. What she does is solar cooking, right? So things like that have opened up more career opportunities, or rather are the trends in the industry. Then of course we can't talk about trends without talking about electric vehicles, electrification. Everybody talks about Tesla, right? So those are some of the key trends that are currently in the industry. Of course, we also have the energy storage issues also. Then another thing, almost everybody now talks about mini grid. Case in point, I was sometime early last year, I think February, March, I was in a rural community in Nigeria, in northern Nigeria, that was powered solely by renewable energy, by solar.
Are you serious?
Solely, like solely by what?
Where?
In Nasarawa State.
Wow, that's good to hear. That's some of the news that we don't hear, like mainstream media.
Exactly, and that's one of the things I'm trying to change at Energy Intelligence. Trying to change the narrative. Like, these things are happening, and because electrification came to that area, within 6 months, the economy of that place just shut up, right? Wow. Everybody started doing businesses, barbers, phone charging stations, rice millets, things like that, powered entirely by renewable energy. And then another thing about the trend is that now,
the population of that community.
Funnily enough, it's not just one community. There are about 6 communities like that, powered solely by energy. Yes, powered solely, and over 100,000 community in Nasarawa State, very far. Wow. We spent about 4 hours from Abuja to that place in Nasarawa, very far.
I don't know how far Nasarawa from Adamawa is. But I've been to Adamawa.
No, I don't. I've never been to Adamawa.
I've been to Adamawa from Abuja. You have to take another flight to Adamawa.
Yeah. Wow. So then,
sorry to cut you off. We're trying to do something similar. I was working with an NGO and they're trying to do something similar. I mean, not then I didn't know a lot about sustainability, but they were saying to me that they were going to build like the first sustainable structure in Nigeria, and we were working on it, but because of insecurity, and they're foreigners, so because of insecurity, the project kind of dragged. But they had discussions with a renewable energy company that was willing to, sponsor the energy part of the project. And what they do is they use gravity to kind of to power to create electricity. So what they do, so for instance, they had like a sample they had sent to us where they would put like rocks or anything heavy in a bag, and it will light up a bulb.
Wow,
Yes.
that's impressive.
So, yeah. And this was in 2018 or 19. But unfortunately we couldn't continue with that. I mean, the project has stalled. But yeah, those are the kind of things that is going on up north, and all we hear is like negative aspect of that area. But yeah, so you said that the trends now, you said that renewable energy, you said what else did you say? Something about
Solar, wind.
Wind, yeah. And you said something about clean cooking.
Yeah, clean cooking, yes.
Okay. Okay, is this in Nigeria? What do you think that the journey in Nigeria, do you think we still have a long way to go, or do you think that people like you and I are doing a lot to see that we get there quicker than because of course for fossil type of electricity that we have, it has stalled. We haven't even gotten to the parts where we've been able to we have capacity to provide electricity, unclean electricity for the entire nation. 24 hours electricity, because we haven't been able to do that. What do you think that you would say that our percentage is in the race for renewable energy compared to the rest of the world?
Yeah, brilliant question. Well, the thing is that globally, the race has been slow, right?
Mm-hmm.
I saw a report about 2 or 3 days ago where they said that we might reach the breaking point when it comes to climate change, when it comes to global warming by 2027, right?
Wow.
So we are slow. But then, despite that, there are still innovations, right? Despite the fact that we're slow, people are still trying their best. That's why we are having this kind of conversation. That's why the Rural Electrification Agency of Nigeria is also doing its best, through policy. That's why sometime last year, I think August last year, Nigeria had this energy transition policy, all geared towards meeting climate net zero 2060, 2070, and even there are some countries that they are targeting 2040. So I think, yes, the race has been slow, the journey has been slow, but then we're trying our best.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Ayobami. So what are the career opportunities, these trends, what are the career opportunities that it has provided?
Yeah, beautiful question. Yeah, so the thing is that because there are trends, every trend usually brings in opportunities. So for the renewable energy industry, it is not different. I mentioned the fact, I talked about solar. About 2 years ago, the report came out that the cost of solar now is now very low, at an all-time low, unlike 5-10 years ago. So I think that has attracted a lot of people into the industry. And then another thing is that because the price is now very low, it has given, like, I know someone who in the last 10 years has been using solar solely in Lagos, has not switched on his generator. He doesn't even have a generator, has been using solar for the last 10 years. At a conference about 2 weeks ago, I also met with someone who said in the last 3 years, he has not even used generator. Now he doesn't even have generator. right? So those kind of opportunities, the thing is that once there are opportunities like that, there will be more career opportunities for renewable energy engineers.
Mhm.
There will be more opportunities for people like me, who is a communication specialist, to tell stories of much more brands, right? There will be more opportunities for project managers. There will be more opportunities for virtually every role that in the renewable energy industry. So with every trend comes opportunity. So this has really opened up the career space for everybody. Then another thing is that because the solar industry or the renewable energy industry in general is it has allowed a lot of women to come into the sector, unlike the oil and gas industry. So I think the renewable energy industry has that edge over the oil and gas industry when it comes to job diversification. See many people, many women, there are so many programs on women in the renewable energy industry. There was a conference a day or 2 days ago for women in the renewable energy industry alone. So things like that have really brought up much more opportunities, career opportunities. Yeah.
Okay, so what are some essential skills and qualifications that are highly sought after, by employers in this industry?
Yeah. So the first skill that anyone who wants to work in the renewable energy industry needs should be technical skills, especially when it comes to the engineering aspects. Definitely, you need technical skills. Technical skills, you need to, if you want to be a renewable engineer, definitely you need to have a certificate in engineering, right? So another thing has to do with analytical abilities. Now the world is talking about data analytics, things like that. Then of course, communications. Earlier in this conversation, we're talking about sustainability reporting. So skills like that too, very, very important. And of course, project management skills too. Because of the very many opportunities that the renewable energy industry has thrown on, there are so many projects ongoing, all across the country. I have a client who is developing a mini-grid project somewhere in a southwest state. Someone like that too definitely would need a project manager, to manage the project. So those are some of the skills I believe are needed in the industry. And of course, the ability to learn. I think above all, this is the most important skills everybody needs. The ability to learn, don't be rigid, be flexible. Right. So that's it.
So are there any specific educational paths that you would suggest or certifications you would recommend?
Okay, so because I'm not I don't have an energy background, engineering background. Okay, so I studied political science and international relations, right? But because of the very many opportunities in the renewable energy industry, I find myself there. So those are some of the opportunities of the job diversification I was talking about earlier. There's diversity in the industry. So, but I know some schools in Nigeria, that do skills acquisition for renewable energy enthusiasts. For instance, I know of A. Steven Solar. I think is around the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. I know of Ashdown Solar that is based in Ibadan. So there are several.
Share with us.
What?
So maybe after we finish, you can put that in the chat box for, us to have.
Okay, or rather, I could just send them to or something.
This will that you may. So because of everyone participating today, so that they can, leave here with information that they might need another time.
Okay, I'll do that after the.
Yeah. Okay, so you were saying, sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, so like I said, so Ashdown Solar is owned by a female, and I think about 2 weeks ago or so, she launched a new program for women in the renewable energy. So if you're a woman, I think this is the best time to join the renewable energy industry because there are several opportunities. Everybody wants a woman to be there. So I think if a woman is a very smart choice. I wish I was a woman right now. There are some funding, there are some grants, solely for women. There's some scholarships solely for women, and sometimes I just feel like.
Don't go Bobrisky or not, sir.
What did you say?
And they don't go Bobrisky or not, so many people want to be like us these days. Yeah. So, okay, another question I have is that, you know that a lot of individuals are interested in pursuing careers in renewable energy, sustainability. I think I've asked that before. So certifications, what about certifications?
Like I said, I don't have an engineering background, but I know of COREN, that's the Council for Renewable Energy in Nigeria. I think that they have a certification for it. But then, except you are looking towards going to the engineering part aspect of the renewable energy industry. So certification shouldn't stop you from coming to the industry. Like I said, I don't have a science background. I have political science and international relations background. So I have virtually no background about of engineering and all. But there, I find myself playing in it. So whatever role you are, if you're a lawyer, I have lawyer friends who are in the industry, right? They speak on project, mini-grid project, they speak on things like that. So because for the renewable energy industry, whatever contract you want to have, they will have the legal aspect. So as a lawyer, you can play in it. So there's virtually any role that you can't find in the industry.
Okay. So what you said is as long as you're open to learning.
Yeah, the ability to learn, you can find yourself there.
Okay. So I mean, for someone of your personality, caliber, and timber, I'm sure that you have interacted with professionals, from various job roles within the industry. So could you highlight some of the diverse career paths available in this field? I think you've kind of covered part of that before, but if you just go over it again,
Yes, so there are several opportunities in the industry. And because of the several opportunities there, you find different roles in the industry. I have someone who is a sustainability consultant. Now, because the conversation around the world, especially around the business world, is climate change and sustainability. So you find several organizations, looking to become much more sustainable. So they are looking for professionals in that field who can come, train them, right, and then lead them the right way on how to be much more sustainable, right? So another aspect is I also have someone who is a sustainability reporter, not based in Nigeria, of course, right? I also have someone who is several opportunities. So the thing is that any role you can think of, I can assure you, you'll find it in the renewable energy industry. Virtually any role.
Photography.
Yeah, photography. Yes. I'm glad you said that. I know someone who is a storyteller and he uses images to tell stories. So what he does is companies hire him, to go to their site, take pictures, take photos, and then tell stories with those photos on what they are doing, to mitigate the impact of climate change in Nigeria. So virtually.
Wow, that's amazing and creative as well. So what are the unique challenges and rewards associated with this role?
With the roles,
what kind of challenges do you think? Yeah, like some of the roles that you've mentioned. What do you think, like a new, somebody that is just venturing into sustainability or renewable energy might, encounter?
Yeah, I think just like that's a great question. Just like every other new industry that anybody wants to come into, usually it might take some time to find your feet. But then, like I said, flexibility, the ability to learn would make your journey easier. So it's not something that is different from any other field, really. So challenges in a particular field, can be replicated in every other field. But then what really matters is your own ability to adapt and grow in that industry. So really, there are no unique challenges. Of course, if let's say you're an entrepreneur in the renewable energy space, I think one of your challenges might be funding, right? And I believe funding is for every industry in the world. Funding, if you ask them, funding will be their number one. So there are no unique challenges, really.
Yeah. Okay. So what do you think about the sustainability sector? Do you think it's a trend or it's like a concrete industry that has come to stay? Or it's just a trend that, everyone is just jumping on, sometimes with the number of things that I read and I see, sometimes I'm like, okay, it just seems like sometimes it can just be like, okay, is this concrete? Do you get what I mean? Like the industries that are, for instance, let's take the medical industry. It's a concrete industry. It's going nowhere. It's going to be, it's going to be here for years and thousands of years after. It's a sector that evolves. There's much to do. There's much to learn. There's much to, there's so much more to research, to be known. Do you get what I mean? The more the more you see, the more you look, the less you see, and the more you need to. My internet is unstable. Can you hear me?
I can hear you clearly. Go ahead.
Yes. So do you think that it's a concrete industry or just a trend?
Okay, so my answer is this. Whether we like it or not, it is here to stay. Do you know why? Because climate change is real. And in order for us to survive, and not just us alone, future generations, we need the world to be sustainable.
Yeah.
Right? So as long as that climate change threat is hanging over us, then we need to be sustainable. They'll be sustainable. So it's not a trend. Yeah, for now, it might look like a trend, but it's not a trend. It's here to stay. And anybody who gets into it now will be among the early beneficiaries of the industry.
Okay, fantastic. I love your answer. So what do you think that with the rapid, evolving, renewable energy and sustainability industry, how can individuals stay updated with the latest industry trends and advancements?
Okay, thank you, Adedinni. People often say that knowledge is power, but I don't believe that. I believe that applied knowledge is power. And the reason for that is that you can learn as much as you want, but if you don't apply it, it's useless. So one of the ways to stay updated, number one, is by attending conferences as much as possible. Just put yourself out there. This year alone, I don't know the number of conferences I've attended, right? Because the more you attend, the more you learn. You meet people who are much more knowledgeable than you, right? So, and also conferences gives you the opportunity to network. And then through networking, your career story might change, right? So you need conferences, you need events like this webinar. It's a veritable tool. I don't know if anyone in the audience, is interested in the renewable energy industry, or whoever is going to be watching later, right? Yeah. So once they watch this, I'm sure they're able to take one or two things along with them. So things like this, conferences, seminars, webinars, networking events, really. Then another thing is joining associations. We have the Renewable Energy Association of Nigeria, which is like an umbrella body of players in the renewable energy industries in Nigeria. So you can go to the website, I think rian.org or something, or just type Renewable Energy Association of Nigeria. Yeah, you find a way to join them. You can join them as a company or as individuals. So they always have programs, opportunities for members. This is not a paid service anyway. It's free.
Okay.
Then another thing that we also have is there's this other renewable energy group. I think it's called Sustainable Energy Practitioners Association of Nigeria, SEPAN or something. So there are several groups like that, willing, are even looking for more members, for to train and know. And then, of course, it also adds to their strength in lobbying governments, for policies, and all. And then another thing is that reaching out to mentors. One mistake we usually make is not looking for mentors. We usually look for a billionaire, high multimillionaire. No. The truth is that if Dangote comes to this webinar now and talks to us, yeah, we might be shaking our head. Yeah. But then the truth is, we won't learn much. Why? Because his experience and our own experience, they are miles apart. And then while he was at our stage, maybe like 30, 35 years ago, right? So the best, for me, the best person to mentor you will be someone between 2 to 5 years above your career, just 2 to 5 years, right? Because the person just left where you currently are. So I think we need a mindset change when it comes to that. So networking, attending conferences as much as possible, and then joining groups. You know, I think I belong to about 2 or 3 groups in when it comes to climate change and sustainability in Nigeria. Then also, I belong to a group called the Energy Institute. Young Professional Network of the Energy Institute, of which I'm the vice chair media. So, and then we're always looking for young professionals in the energy industry to come join us and then learn. We have several programs for them to learn from and to benefit from. And then, of course, during this year, we are planning several events. I know that everyone is going to be a beneficiary of. So that for now, that will be my answer. Thank you. I think I've talked too much.
Thank you so much for your time. No, you haven't. We can go on and on. Yeah, so thank you so much. So Ayobami has said that conferences, it's very important to network. Conferences, there's so many groups that we can join. And I'm sure that he's willing to give us some resources for people that might be interested in, you know, moving their career forward in this aspect. I'm sure that, you know, you're willing to share some networking opportunities with us. Like you have mentioned, you know, some people just don't know, like these conferences that you have attended. Some people might want to attend, you know, as well, but they don't know how to go about it or where to join, who to look out for, the right, you know, people to talk to, you know, even if you're just researching online. Of course, you just don't want to go to any random thing that you see. You want to be sure that it's, you know, worthwhile. Do you get what I mean? So please, if it won't be too much to ask, can you please just put some of these informations in our chat box so that the first thing I want you to help us put in our chat box is the you talked about some organizations that teach that have like a learning program in renewable energy and sustainable development. So if you can help us put that in the chat box first.
Yeah, I just did.
Okay, and then how can we, you know, join these conferences? Where can we get information to attend some conferences?
Yeah, so I think one of the best ways to do this is by being active, especially on LinkedIn. Most conference organizers usually share their flyers on LinkedIn. So I think that would be the best. Of course, there are both paid and then free conferences. So even for the there are several. I think in June or July, there's one called Power and Water Conference, which is supposed to hold at Landmark Event Center. So there are several opportunities. There are several conferences. About 2 months ago, they held the Nigerian International Energy Summit in Abuja. So several. Okay, case in point, last year.
Several. Now, these 2 things that you have mentioned, me, I did not hear.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So, one of the things I do. What?
So, cut so for us very briefly.
Okay, so one of the things I do on social media, like I said earlier, is I share tips, I share information about events, about the industry generally. So I'll be more than willing to connect with anyone who's interested. And then also
on your LinkedIn.
On LinkedIn and social on Instagram.
Can you share your Instagram handle?
Okay, sure. I hope I remember.
You don't remember.
You can just search for my name, or I'm not too sure now. Hold on. You could just search me up on LinkedIn and Instagram. You find some of the resources I've shared.
Yeah, I'll follow you on Instagram now.
Okay.
Okay.
And of course, there's this opportunity I shared yesterday. If anyone who is watching this is interested, there's an organization called the Arts Plus Sustainability Network. They have a funding opportunity for anyone who's interested, who is in Lagos, who is interested in fighting plastic waste in Lagos. So they have a funding opportunity for them. I think what I'm going to do is after this, I don't have the link now, but I can share it with you on your LinkedIn, and then you can share it with. Bless you. So and then you can share it with your network, if that works for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Ayobami. We had a splendid time having you here. We're hoping that we'll get to see more of you in the near future, and can come and give us all this soap that you've been giving us. Thank you so much, Ayobami. We're so happy to have you. So does anybody have questions? Can you take questions?
Yeah, 603. Okay. I can take one. Sure.
I know that I know you've answered most of the questions, but if anybody, I just want to leave that option open. If anyone has a question for Ayobami, please. We have just 2 minutes because we've spent too much time already.
So before any question comes, I think earlier you mentioned the fact that anyone who wants to come into the renewable energy industry, passion, you have to have passion, and all of that to sustain you. But the truth is that you don't need passion. There's money in the industry. That's the fact. Yes. If you are looking for, I think I like
money.
Yeah, because so you might be thinking, okay, I think I like sustainability. Okay, I think I want to fight climate change. No, you don't need to have that feeling before you come and work in the industry. As long as you have the requisite skills, you can just come and then make your money. Of course, definitely while doing that, you're also helping the environment. And of course, you're helping yourself too. Yeah. So last year, because one of the things I do, I moderate conferences and I also host conferences. So last year I was hosting a conference last year. And one of the foreign companies that came, in their presentation, they mentioned something that has made me to see the renewable energy industry with a new high. They mentioned the fact that in 2021, they made over $600 million revenue. Exactly.
Doing what?
The solar energy company.
Wow.
Exactly.
That's something to sleep on.
Just think about it too.
Wow.
There's money in the industry.
I understand what you just said, because it's not every aspect that is about passion, like what we do. Other aspects, very important aspect, are also about the skills that you have, the skill set that you have, towards achieving these, sustainable energy goals and everything. I mean, take skill sets, and of course, people have to be paid their money's worth. If you have the skill sets, why not? So I understand what you mean completely. So I don't think anybody has a question. No questions for Ayobami before he leaves. I don't think they have questions. Because no one has raised their hand up. So I guess they are full. Thank you so much. I am full. Thank you so much for coming. It was a great time. It was a pleasure having you. I had such a great time, having this conversation. And I learned a lot, and I'm still going to continue to disturb you for some tips. Like you said, it's not by Dangote,
Of course.
You can have like mentors that, that are closer to you in age, that are doing better than you, and, you can learn from anyone. So thank you so much for having us. Now, I'll let you go. We've come to the end of today's edition of our clan monthly green webinar. Thank you so much, Ayobami. And thank you, everyone.
I really appreciate this.
Thank you. Bye. We are finished to Aishat and Sadiq. By the way, Sadiq, thank you for Olainka Sadiq.
Hello, yeah, I can hear you.
Please, can you help me share that picture? Can you send it to my WhatsApp?
Bring money. Okay.
Do you still have it?
Bring money, bring money.
Sorry?
Bring money, bring money.
You're not serious. Send it now before I sack you. Please, I'm begging. I'm not even doing shakara. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm going to end the meeting now. Olainka, please share our point to our key learning points.
Your upload video.
I can't hear you.
I didn't know the upload video. It was breaking at some point, so I need some of those things to say.
Okay. He'll do that. Okay, thank you. Bye. End meeting.